Okay, let's get started.
Ghosts are real. That much I know.
Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get a notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. As you can see from the title, today's video is going to be my full review with spoilers of Five Nights at Freddy's. This is the adaptation of the video game on the same name. It's now available on movie theaters and Peacock TV. Now, as always, all my reviews are with spoilers. If you don't want them, just to see if this was worth it or not, in the description box down below, there you're going to find my spoiler-free review, because I like to give you guys the two options. And giving all that disclaimer, let's get into the video. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's follows a troubled security guard that begins working at Freddy Fazbear Pizza. During his first night on the job, he realizes that the night shift won't be so easy to get through. Pretty soon, he will unveil what actually happened at Freddy's. The film has a running time of 1 hour and 15 minutes, and to give a brief summary, the film opens with a security guard in Freddy's, and he is being chased by something or someone, and he gets trapped into an animatronic, and of course he dies. After that, the title card appears. We have the introduction of the protagonist, that is Mike, that he's being portrayed by Josh Hosterson. He is a security guard, but we can quickly see that he has some troubles. He loses his job because he doesn't react very well to a man that is dragging a kid by his arm. And what looks at first that is being a kidnap is just a father dealing with his kid. But as a response, he goes straight to the guy and starts punching him. Because of this, he has to go to his career counselor, that is Steve, that is portrayed by Matthew Lillard. He tells him that he has a one last job for him, that is being a security guard at Freddy's at night. His only job is to look out for the place and also to clean it. At first, he declines because he doesn't want to deal at night with a job. He prefers to be during the day. And also, he has to take care of his sister. While all of this is happening, he has to fight his aunt by the custody of his sister, Abby. Once Mikey realizes that he has no other option but to take the job, because he needs one in order for the court to look at him as the right person to take care of his sister, he decides to take the job. On his first night, he gets to the place, he starts looking around a little bit, but he ends up falling asleep. Now, he made it on purpose because Mike, when he was little, his little brother was kidnapped, and he feels guilty, but he also feels that he was able to watch who was the man that took him. And what he does is that he takes pills to sleep, and he will have vivid dreams, and he's always looking for clues in order to trap the guy. So he's doing that, and while that is happening, we see a shadow that resembles one of the animatronics that we know so well that are on Freddy's. When he returns home, we see that Abby was with a nanny, but we quickly learn that this nanny is working with the aunt because they're going to try to sabotage Mike. And what they're going to be doing is, when he leaves his next shift, they're going to trash Freddy's so that Mike can be blamed, so that he will lose the job, and the aunt will take Abby. They decide to do that, but on that second shift, Mike meets Vanessa. She is a police officer, and she's the one that properly presents to Mike all the animatronics, and also tells Mike about the kids that were missing, because on the next dream that Mike has, he starts dreaming with kids. These kids, they're going to try to help Mike with his goal, that is trying to find out who kidnapped his brother. Now, when Mike leaves the next day, the group that is going to trash the place comes next with the nanny. They start trashing the place, but they're going to be attacked and killed by the animatronics. All of the deaths are off camera since the film is PG-13, so we don't really see much. The only blood that we actually see is when Mike gets cut. That's the only blood that we see. Now, as a result that the nanny is dead, Mike is forced to bring Abby with him to his workplace, and Abby meets the animatronics, but she is loving it. She is very happy to be there. They don't have the best relationship, Mike and Abby. We can see that from the very beginning, but she's happy to have some friends, and she's having the time of her life. But of course, we know that is dangerous for her. We all know it. On the next shift, even Vanessa arrives, and they all start playing. But Mike kind of believes that is all a joke and that is a prank. I mean, I will believe the same. I will freak out. But he takes very well the fact that what is inside of the animatronics are the ghosts of the children that they disappeared years ago, because that is what Vanessa tells him. He doesn't know the whole story yet. But even with the fact that Vanessa is having a good time with playing with animatronics and Mike and Abby, she tells to Mike, do not bring her again. And he decides to do that, and he leaves Abby with her aunt at their house while Mike returns to Freddy because he decides that he's going to get sleep on the middle of the day, try to continue with the help of the kids in his dream. But this is when things get very twisted. The kids tells to Mike that they're only going to help him if he gives Abby to them. And at first he says yes, but he quickly backs out, but it's too late. So while this is happening and Mike is asleep, Freddy gets into the house. He kills the aunt, thank God, because I hated the woman. And he returns with Abby to Freddy's. Mike gets attacked by the kids while he's sleeping. He gets caught, but Vanessa is able to save him before it gets worse. This is when she tells him the whole story, and is that it's not only the ghost of the kids that is inside of the animatronics, but it's also the bodies, that it was actually her father, the yellow bunny, the one that killed them all. I did not expect that. The reality, I was shocked by that reveal since I haven't played the game, so I have no idea what was going to happen. So Mike has no other option that returns to Freddy to save Abby. He does. Of course, this is when we have the last 20 minutes of the film. We have this final battle, if we want to call it that way, of Mike against the animatronics. Vanessa arrives to try to help. Abby is rescued, but also the yellow bunny appears, and this is the reveal that the yellow bunny is William Afton, that is Vanessa's father, and it's Steve, portrayed by Matthew Lillard. This wasn't a surprise since this is something that has been told ever since he was announced as part of the cast that he was going to be the villain. So for me, it wasn't that shocking. He gets shot by Vanessa, but he stabs Vanessa and she ends in a coma in the hospital. I thought that she died. I don't know if she's going to survive, but at least she ends up in the hospital. And Mike and Abby are able to leave Freddy, and they believe that William is dead, but of course we know that he is alive and that he will return. That's how the film ends. The film has a mid-credit scene that is a taxi driver that appears in the middle of the film, and he gets spooked by one of the toys that were featured inside of Freddy's. And at the end, we have a voice that is leaving a message for the viewers. I'm going to keep that for myself. If you want to know what it is, go and watch it. And that's how the film ends. Now, getting very quickly into my review, like I have stated several times, and I already say it, but just in case, I have never played the game. I did not look anything about the games or the story of any characters because I didn't want to spoil anything. The only thing that I already knew was that Matthew Lillard was going to be portraying William Afton, and I knew that he was going to be the villain, so that's why for me it wasn't a plot twist or shocking the fact that he was inside of the yellow bunny. It was shocking for me that he was Vanessa's father. I did not expect that. I was like, what? Truly, I did not see that coming. I really like it. Josh Hutcherson portrayal of Mike. I have never even played the game once again, but I think that he did a fantastic job. It was very convincing, not only that he had issues, but also his struggles with his sister and also with what happened with his little brother. I think that he did a fantastic job. Matthew Lillard, he is amazing at everything that he does. Once again, he did a pretty good job. The actress that portrays Vanessa, I have seen her before, and I think that she also did a pretty good job. And even the girl that did of Abby, she did a good job. For the aunt, the actress was very convincing because I hated her for the very first moment that she appeared in the film, and I did not feel sorry that she was killed. I did not feel nothing, only that happiness. Now, as for the animatronics and all the practical effects in that, I think that they look super cool, creepy, and a really cool design. The reality is that I really like the fact that they decided to use real suits instead of using CGI for them, because they use real suits. Of course, we have a little bit of CGI, a little bit here and there, but it's not 100% CGI, and they look pretty realistic, which adds to the film. But unfortunately, I was expecting a little bit more from it. What really hurts the film, in my opinion, is the rating. This film is PG-13. Like I said, the deaths are off screen. We barely see blood. And I was expecting this film to have a heavier atmosphere in terms of the tension and the horror. Definitely felt that it was more childish. Like, this is the type of film that I would recommend for a kid to watch if you want to start watching horror films. I know that the video games are scary, but at least for me, the film lacked that sense of scaring. Also, the tense moments, they weren't that tense. That build-up wasn't really there. If they were trying to be funny at some moments, the reality is that, in my opinion, the humor, once again, was a little bit childish. I don't have a problem with that, but it's an observation. But if there's something that I am 100% sure, is that this film was made for the fans. Once again, I have no idea how it's a game, but I have seen many comments about how the film feels so accurate to the material of the games. And you know what? That's fine. That's nothing bad. If they made the film with the sole purpose of pleasing the fans after almost 8 years, if I am not mistaken, of waiting for this film, that's fine. Honestly, that's cool and that's good, because at the end of the day, fans, they deserve a good film. But for people that we are not part of that, I will say that definitely lacked that sense of horror, but I didn't feel confused. Something I'm going to give is the film takes its time with explaining and giving the proper context. Sometimes when you do an adaptation, you're going to get lost. You're not going to understand some stuff, and people is going to say, oh, you have to read the book or you have to play the video game. I didn't feel that I had to sit down and play the video game in order to understand the film or the characters. I think that they did a pretty good job with giving the proper context and giving the details that you needed to know in order to get the film. Because once again, I didn't knew nothing and I understood everything that is presented in the film. Now, as for the future of these films, I don't know if they're going to continue doing them, but I know that they have plans to. If they do, I'm going to go and watch. The reality is that I was very hyped. I mean, I have a shirt and I have this hoodie that as soon as I saw it, I knew that I had to have it. It's so damn cute. I'm going to be wearing this for the movie theater. I'm going to be watching it tomorrow since I want to have the movie theater experience. But definitely I had a good time. It's enjoyable, that's for sure. I was only expecting a little bit more. Maybe they will do a sequel that is darker. I don't know. But if they do a sequel or whatever they do, I'm going to watch it because seriously, I had a good time. So for me, the film will be a 3.5 out of 5 and a 7.5 out of 10. The film could have been a little bit better, but on a general aspect, I think that is very good. Maybe a little bit silly at moments. I have read some people saying that they felt bored, but that wasn't my case. I was interested into the story. I was engaged. And I really like it. All the scenes that included the animatronics, they look like, once again, so cool and realistic. And because at least for me, that's something that really counts. And also the soundtrack, I really like it. I did recognize some of the songs. I have heard them before. I think, of course, that they need it to be. Like, you cannot do adaptation without the iconic score. So, of course, it was there and pretty good. So, I think that this is all. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below, what do you thought about this film? Did you like it? You didn't? Are you a huge fan? How do you feel? Let me know, because I have seen so many people that are huge fans being so happy. And I have seen plenty of videos of people dressing up to the theaters and having a good time, and that's good. That's something that makes me happy. I am not a fan, although I have this because it was pretty cool and I want to get into it. Like, after this, I really want to get into all this universe of Five Nights at Freddy's. Is super cool. But I feel happy for the fans that are having a blast at movie theaters and probably at home watching it on Peacock. But well, thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys on my next video. Bye.
Close to real. That much I know.